If you aren't anything like me or just thinking a once in a lifetime eclipse, didn't we just do this a couple years ago? Yeah, you got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state and world that we live in. Appreciate you hanging out. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you got out some amazing weather out there. Hope you had a lot of fun. And so tell me all about it. Jump in the comments and let me know what you had going on. Today is it. It is Eclipse Day. Oh, my goodness sakes. It's Eclipse Day, and everybody's losing their minds. It's an eclipse. The only thing I'm excited about with this eclipse, and it's apparently happening right now as we're on air, but the only thing I'm really excited about with this eclipse is that that there are literally tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that are going outside for the first time in God knows how long and enjoying some sun and hopefully not burning their eyeballs out looking at the looking at the sun in the eclipse with their naked eyes. Yeah, no, just that's not a good idea. Please don't do that. But if you like to get out and enjoy some sun while it's getting covered up, go for it. Why not? And what a great excuse to all those that have been binge watching everything for the past 2 months and not gone outside, that they get to at least have partial sun. Yeah, there you go. That's the way to entice them out. It's not full sunlight. Don't get scared. It's partial sunlight. And I don't really know what's happening, man. I really don't get it. And by the way, eyeball sunburn is a thing. It is. I'm not kidding. And I'm gonna talk about looking at the sun and you know how it jacks with your eyes. What's up, Betty? It's a thing that I got. Your eyes, just my eyes. It looked like I had pink eye in both eyes. I was, believe it or not, javelina hunting in February, I believe it was, and completing down south. And snow like crazy, snow everywhere, blanket of snow. And I get up to where we were going to park the truck and start heading out. And I start heading up a hill. And guess what? I forgot my sunglasses. So now it is Arizona sun reflecting off of Arizona snow and right into my eyeballs. And I could barely, it was awful. It was a horrific experience having my eyes scorched like they were. Oh my gosh, that's bad. So anyway, yeah, don't mess with your eyes. Your eyes good. Keep them going. Keep them safe. Keep them protected. Whatever welding glass or whatever the heck people are using, go ahead and check that thing out. But yeah, it's the moon is moving partially in front of the sun. We get prepared for this, right? You know, get all this all geared up for it as a once in a lifetime gig. The next one of this type of solar eclipse is going to happen in another 19-ish years. Okay, that's not once in a lifetime. That's not nothing to absolutely geek out about. But okay, there's several eclipses. They happen all the damn time. But we're always told, oh, once in a lifetime. Man, are we suckers for branding, aren't we? But get outside. That's fun. At least you're getting outside. Celebrating people getting outside right now. I am so excited for the next half hour-ish. Heck yeah, people are going to be outside enjoying, and actually vitamin D will be absorbing into their skin. What an amazing concept. Woohoo! Something we've been preaching on the show for, carry the one, divide by 2, 11 years. So I am excited for that because that does make sense, and it makes sense that we should celebrate that more than we should celebrate an eclipse that just seems to keep coming around and coming around and coming around. But I'm a nerd and I like that kind of stuff, so I did go outside and check it out. I was going to play this whole game on the video here as we're live streaming. I was going to just make it darker and darker and darker as we went through the show, but no, because technology is involved. Intern Beans was here this weekend. Intern Nuge was here this weekend, and I should have asked them how to do it, and I forgot. I just did. So I didn't do it. Anyway, I'm very excited for the eclipse that's going on right now. I've been singing Total Eclipse of the Heart. I've had that in my head for 2 days now, and I'm over it. So we can get past this, move past. Here's another silver lining in all of this. I was almost being excited and a little weirded out at the same time with some of the press conferences that I saw over the weekend preparing the United States for this solar eclipse. Huh? Okay. Maybe some car crashes, people watching, maybe, some people staring at the sun, emergency rooms going off, whatever it is. Okay. But I don't think we need to have, FEMA out there doing press conferences telling us what we need. But it was really cool to see what they were saying. Mm-hmm. to hear what they were saying. Excuse me. They were telling you just be prepared for anything, no matter what. Of course, there's terror threats and this and that and the other thing, but what was being told and shared was, again, something we've been preaching here on the Go Show for 11 years. Just have a plan. That's it. Make sure you have a bug out bag in your truck. Make sure you have some sort of supplies. Make sure you have water. Make sure you got food. Make sure you have a communication plan with your loved ones. Yeah, that's what we've been preaching for 11 years. And it takes an eclipse to tell the world, tell the masses about that, to reach that my show doesn't have. Cool. I see that as a silver lining of this eclipse. People don't know what I forget what they say, get home safe bag or bug out bag. Yeah. Basically just a little thing in your truck. Luckily in my truck, I have these drawers and they have enough in there to basically keep me going. It's always got water in there. Always has water. So, just provisions and some sort of a communication plan, especially when you go hunting, you go camping. Heck, in the weather coming up when you go hiking, you should never go hiking in 90 plus degrees without everybody knowing where you at. To Life 360, whatever it is, or just tell people where you're going. Hey, listen, I'll be at the trailhead at this time. I should be back by this time. If you don't hear from me, then, send the cavalry. So the preparedness that was being taught before the eclipse is something I think we should celebrate as well. So see, it's not as boring and dumb as people thought it was. It's an eclipse. It's cool. I think it's cooler watching SpaceX launches than a solar eclipse, really. And by the way, Elon Musk tweeted this morning, or it was yesterday, he said soon. And it showed the video of one of his rockets just returning to the launch pad, nice and slow like, and just pushing himself right back on the pad. Dang. Instead of dropping in the ocean somewhere, polluting and killing fish and dropping it on a sperm whale, it came right back to the launch pad. And why couldn't you? I have a drone that I fly. My neighbor was flying his drone yesterday. And I was out there chit-chatting with him, and he hit the button, come back home, and it returns right to us. Whoop, whoop. If I can get a drone to do that, I'm sure Elon Musk can figure out how to get a damn rocket to do that. Thank you so much for being here. Once again, we celebrate all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a world that we live in. Let's get to conservation, as that is my favorite word. Conservation. We talked a little bit about the reintroduction in Colorado of wolves. And I always said, what could possibly go wrong? They could get away. Oh, don't worry. They're banded. Don't worry about that. We can track those suckers, right? Yeah. Are you going to track all their puppies too? Because those pups go quickly. They multiply quickly. We know canines, rabbits multiply quickly. So so obviously right when this happened, I thought, okay, they introduced the 10 gray wolves were released in December. Okay. And again, it's Colorado. So, it'll be nice to have the wolf back. I mean, I'm just an elected politician. I don't listen to science. These biologists for our game and fish department, they said this is a terrible idea, but you know what? We know better. So our neighbors up north are introducing these 10 gray wolves that will become 12, that will become 24, that will become 48, that will exponentially just grow and grow and grow, decimating populations of big game. Now, how do I know this? We have December, let's see, January, we're 4 months into this. 4 months in, kids. Now we have the first confirmed kill by a gray wolf of a calf, livestock. So now forget about Game and Fish told you this is bad for the deer population. This is bad for the elk population. You should not do this. Please don't do this. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do it. And okay, if you do it this way. Maybe. Yeah. And we were worried about the populations of deer and basically everything, every game species, deer and elk. Now we got to worry about is farmers. Great. Do you imagine? You're a farmer, just living generational farmer, third, fourth generation farmer on this land, and you have, X amount of 10, 15,000 head of cattle. And now forget about any kind of disease, forget about any kind of anything that farmers worry about, and they worry about a lot. Now you got to worry about your bonehead government putting wolves in your neighborhood and now you got to protect it from wolves. I mean, this goes back to just how loony this is. It goes back to Looney Tunes. You know, the wolf comes in, clocks in. Yeah, I'm not talking about Wile E. Coyote. I'm talking about the wolves were around. Hey, Ralph. Hey, George. They flip them in. One's a guard dog. Keep the wolves away. They clock in. They're going into their shift. One's going to try to get the cows, and one's going to try to keep them out. This isn't going to work. These wolves are. I don't really know of a farm dog that's going to step toe to toe with one. I know they will step toe to toe because in doggies I trust. But this, I don't know of anything that's going to really protect livestock right now. I mean, you can't shoot these things. There's 10 of them. So now they're starting to come in and kill your cattle. What do you do? Is the state going to be on the hook for this? Those are the questions I have. Will the state be on the hook? So you now reintroduce something that's killing my livestock, killing my livelihood. And thanks, Eddie. Right. Yeah. Morning, George. I love that. So I can see it in my eyes right now. So in my mind right now. There we go. Ooh, maybe my eyes are burning from the eclipse. Who helps these farmers out? Who helps these ranchers out for the decimation of their livestock? That's not cheap. A cow isn't cheap. Calves aren't cheap. It's just absolutely, nothing good yet. I haven't seen anything good yet. Now, I understand. I do. I get it. Let things play out. I want to let things play out, but I want to let things play out over there. When they start tiptoeing into Arizona, then I'm thinking, okay, well, oh, you didn't see that one? Oh, you didn't know that one dropped a litter? Didn't know, did you? Oh, now they got a litter to feed? Wonder what they're going to go after next. This is just a dumb idea, but at least it's Colorado letting it play out. I said that back in the days of, the early ons of marijuana and legalized marijuana. I'm like, good for Colorado doing that and just letting everyone else figure out if that works or not. And of course, everybody's like, tax revenue, woo! Yeah. So anyway, the wolf population, this is bad. I have for you after I'm gonna talk about guns here for a minute, but after this, you got to stay tuned. One of the goofiest poaching cases I've ever heard. And if we can find one of these kind of poaching cases a day, I'll be just the happiest host you ever. This is wild. And it was over a Canadian goose. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. But let's talk guns. I do talk guns quite often because I am a complete and 100% unapologetic advocate for the Second Amendment. I am. The Second Amendment, again, if you get rid of the Second Amendment, which other amendments you want to get rid of? Which one? What are we going to do? We're just going to start peeling these back. It was so important the framers put it not one, but two. It was top two of importance. Number one was freedom of religion, assembly, and freedom of speech. That's number one. Number two is the right to bear arms. Shall not be infringed. Okay? And if we want to go toe-to-toe with the words, trust me, I would love to have that debate with you if you want to go toe-to-toe on the actual words of the Second Amendment. I have no problem with that. But it is under attack. Those that are anti-firearm are playing a very long game, and they're sticking with it, and they're not going to let go. So it is of wild importance. I mean, the utmost importance that you stay diligent, you keep your eyes open, you see this type of legislation coming anywhere here in the state of Arizona or your state, wherever you might be, and you need to get involved. You need to get active because this is what you are about to hear are two of the looniest things ever. One is out of Colorado. There we go. We're just going to knock Colorado today. So the Colorado Bashing Hour. We're in Colorado, and the other one's out of Illinois. And these are absolute. These are it's theater of the absurd. Because none of it makes sense. Let's start with Colorado, shall we? Let's get up in here to Colorado. All right, Colorado. We are talking about legislation going through HB 24-1349, HB 24-1270, and SB Senate Bill. That means House Bill, Senate Bill. You staying with me on that? Senate Bill 24066. Now, here are what each of those do. Here we go. Let me put my spectacles on. There we go. All right, here we go. The governor's SB 24-131 too. This SB 24-131 expands gun-free zones. So more of the state, more of the common areas of a state, the populous areas of a state will be now minus firearms from responsible firearm owners, because only those are the people that say, oh, it's a gun-free zone. Okay, let me leave the gun in the truck. No big deal. Not here to cause any problems. Let me go ahead and leave that with the car. I'm here for the kids, school ballet recital or whatever. I'm just going to leave that. No big deal. What does that mean to a criminal? Exactly. All right. So that's and that, by the way, passed. So that's going to go to the governor's office. Senate Bill HB 24-1349. This is an additional. This just passed out of committee. So this is an additional tax on firearms and ammunition. Have we seen this play before? But we all agreed on a tax, didn't we? Right? Outdoorsmen, sportsmen, we all agreed on a tax on firearms and ammunition. What was that? That was Pittman-Robertson. We were all cool with that. We were yeah, heck yeah. If we fund conservation, we are going to fund our nation's conservation through us. We're in. Let's go. I think that's in Dingle Johnson came along, so all the anglers jumped in, and I just like saying Dingle Johnson because I'm a man child. So so we're already agreeing on that. So here's what happens. This harkens back to the old days of why we have to get a tax stamp for fully auto and for silencers. Okay. So Colorado is going to put an additional tax on top of that, just a punitive tax. This is nothing to do with, hey, if you buy firearms and ammunition, that's going to add even more funds to Pittman-Robertson. Even in that capacity, I'd still be against it yet. Or maybe it is they start their own Colorado version of Pittman-Robertson, and that tax goes to their Department of Conservation. And soon to help eradicate the giant population of gray wolves that are about to explode. But yeah, so there's another one. Okay, so it's passed out of committee. And today, the gun owner, listen to this. This is fantastic. HB 24-1270, the gun owner liability insurance mandate. You heard that right. I'll say it again. The gun owner liability insurance mandate. This is in Colorado. These are proposed legislation that have all made it out of committee and are going to go to debate and to vote. So mandating that every firearm owner carries liability insurance. I don't even know. I can't even get my head around this. I can't. Again, because does this stop crime? No. This doesn't stop crime, because the person that steals my firearm, or the person that gets a firearm off the street, do you think they're buying liability insurance? No, I have to buy liability insurance because I follow the law. And I don't know what the penalty would be if you didn't purchase liability insurance. And who wins on this? Who wins? Insurance companies. Oh my gosh. This is we're talking about, and the reason why I'm talking about this is firearms are a huge part of our outdoor world. You would have to pay a punitive tax on buying a bolt action rifle for hunting. You would have to pay a punitive tax for ammunition to go hunting, or just to go participate in the shooting sports. There's a Scholastic clay target program for high schools and colleges. These kids go out and shoot clays. It is the most fun thing in the world. I love shooting clays. Punitive tax on every single shell they fire. Okay. But anyway, and now you got to carry insurance on top of that. I have my grandfather's 30-06, so now I got to pay I got to have liability insurance on that. The insurance company is going to win on this. Yeah, not cool at all. Not at all. And then SB 24066, which actually the banks are already on board with in anyway, because this is it mandates a merchant category code for firearms, accessories, and ammunition. So what that does is essentially let the IRS know that you are purchasing firearms. Let the government know that you're purchasing firearms or ammunition. They already know if you're a law-abiding citizen and you do a background check. But why do I need? Because Bank of America, I believe, was the first jump on this. Maybe Wells, maybe Chase, that they actually have a credit card code for if somebody buys a firearm or ammunition. So they're already, and I think that toothpaste is already out of the tube. But these other few, it's something to pay attention to. Because again, I love going out and shooting clays. If now I have to pay a tax not only on my shotguns, but I have to pay another tax, on the shells, of which I go through a lot. You're pricing young people, you're pricing certain socioeconomic groups out of the game. They can't go have fun and shoot in the desert and have fun and shoot out of the Clay Target Center, out at the range. How about just going? How about this? How about, even more importantly, how about a single mom that wants to have a firearm for protection? So single mom buys a firearm. Single mom now has to pay, supplying everything, food and shelter and everything, and school clothes and all that for the kids. Now we got to go purchase a firearm and pay a punitive tax on that firearm. Who's this hurting? This isn't hurting gang members. This is hurting us. And then on top of that, she wants to be responsible. She wants to go learn how to use the firearm. God bless you, sister. Wants to learn how to use a firearm, wants to take the classes, wants to go to the range, wants to practice, wants to drill, wants to do it right. Punitive tax on all that. It's absurd. This is theater of the absurd. And now we're going to get to Illinois. Illinois is, I have to have someone teach her how to shoot a gun. Grizz, straight up, dude. Scottsdale Gun Club. Ask for Tim Forshee. Go from there. Yeah, I mean, by far, 100%. And especially for concealed carry class, I highly recommend that. The great part about the concealed carry here in Arizona is you don't need a license to carry concealed here. You don't. And I remember when that legislation was going through, everybody thought, it's got to be blood in the streets, it's got to be tombstone. Nope. Crime went down. Yeah. And there might not be a direct correlation to that, but it sure as heck didn't go up as a relation to people carrying without a permit. Here's the deal, though. The greatest part about a concealed carry permit in a state where you don't need a concealed carry permit is like my buddy Tim Forshee, who I just recommended. Tim Forshee says he calls that jury insurance. He's an attorney. He calls that jury. He's also a volunteer sheriff. He's one of the coolest people in the world. So he said it's jury insurance. So if you have to, God forbid, go in front of a jury after using your firearm to protect you and your family in your home, you are a responsible firearmer that took a class, paid for the class, took the class, and learned the do's and the don'ts, and you were acting in accordance to what you believed was your training that you didn't need to take in a state that doesn't require it. Jury insurance. Now you know what I'm saying. See? Yeah. And it's just good to know. There were things when I took it, oh my gosh. I think he plays clips from Archer. He plays clips from Pulp Fiction. It's just fun. It's entertaining. And he's just a funny guy. The things I learned I can't do that I thought I could do, holy mackerel. And if you do have to use your firearm, discharge your firearm in your house, what to do after that is something I didn't expect. Please take a course. Please, pretty, please. I'll actually give you a spoiler on that. You holler for somebody to call the police. You don't call the police. These are the things you learn, right? Yeah, these are definitely things you learn. Let's get to Illinois, shall we? This is the goofiest thing that I've seen in a hot minute, and the fact that it's actually going to court, and these clowns from Michael Bloomberg's organization are on this. Check this out. Hear this. Let's do this together, shall we?
The city of Chicago and a gun safety group file a lawsuit against gun manufacturer Glock, claiming
a lawsuit against Glock, a lawsuit against the gun manufacturer. This is where it starts, kids.
The pistols the company makes endanger Chicagoans.
Experts say Glock's pistols can easily be converted into illegal machine guns.
Oh, okay.
What we allege in this case is that they know they could fix the problem, but they have made a corporate...
Oh, hey, Eric's here. Yeah, Eric is the executive director of Everytown Law. Do you know what Everytown is? That's Michael Bloomberg's organization, his anti-gun organization. But everywhere Michael Bloomberg goes, he has armed protection. So it's easy to really, as a billionaire, to fund this kind of stuff and say, I don't want everyone else to have guns when I just want my people to have guns. Yeah, that's what this is. So understand, he said they didn't take precautions to keep Americans safe.
decision not to, in pursuit of additional sales and additional profits.
The city of Chicago alleging Glock has failed to take any meaningful action to fix how easily its guns can be modified. From the start of 2021 through the end of 2023, the city says more than 1,100 modified Glocks were recovered by Chicago police.
Okay.
What we are trying to do is...
Okay, remember that number, 1,100 of these firearms were recovered by police. Remember that stat, please.
Plain and simple. Create a better sense of safety across the city of Chicago.
Sense of safety.
Help keep residents safe. Also help keep officers safe in general.
Dope.
Machine gun conversion devices, or auto sears, allow users to toggle between semi and fully automatic firing modes. They're legal under federal law and go by.
Oh, wait, what did you just say? Did you just say they're illegal under law? Huh. They're illegal under federal law. It's already illegal to have them. So why? What does Glock need to do?
A handful of names, including Glock switches. Despite that, they're not made by the manufacturer.
They're already illegal, and they're not made by the manufacturer. Glock doesn't even make these things, but Glock is being sued by this bozo organization because why? To punish them, to try to bankrupt them, to hurt them financially, in basically in legal fees. Again, these switches are illegal. They're illegal. You can't have them. But they're not made by Glock. Why is Glock getting sued? Why do I change my gun? Because you bozos can't control something that is already federally illegal.
You look at other handguns by major manufacturers.
Yeah, I love
They
it.
require pretty sophisticated engineering that most civilians could not do.
Okay.
According to the filing, modified Glocks have turned up at the scenes of homicides, kidnappings, home invasions, carjackings, and other crimes.
Modified Glocks have what? I'm sorry, say it again, hun. Turned up on the scenes of crimes. Were they used in the commission of the crime? No. They just turned up at the scene. That's what always fires me up when you see something happen, like a bad guy does something bad. And then they go into his home. They say, after the federal agents ransacked this person's apartment, they found up to 5 firearms and over 100 rounds of ammunition. I have more than that in my truck. I don't like that. Doesn't make the guy bad. What he did made the guy bad. Having 100 rounds of ammo, you're low. You're critical. That is like when your truck tells you that you only have a certain amount, like 8 miles until empty. Yeah, so that's the equivalent. I got the gas light on. I've got an ammo light. I got an ammo light came on. I'm running low.
The lawsuit also cites previous WGN reporting on these conversion devices, including an interview with the ATF's Chicago Field Division, talking about the added danger when they're added to a gun.
Okay.
It's not simply a semi-automatic firearm now that's being discharged in a public area during a crime. It is a weapon of mass destruction.
The city says it is working hard to get
bold.
these weapons off the streets while also pointing out the increased risk they pose to both civilians and law enforcement.
There's not a reason a manufacturer can continue to allow weapons like this to haunt communities.
Well, they're
We've
not.
seen far too many times the number of mass shootings that happen in the city of Chicago.
They're not.
We've also seen those numbers creep up in shootings around the country.
The city's
That has absolutely nothing to do with this little switch thing that Glock doesn't make, but Glock's getting sued by the sued by any town and Chicago. Look at this. I love how they put this picture. It's got cash off to the side. Big money, y'all. Like, oh, please. Oh, look, yeah, rounds of ammunition. This isn't even what that's not even a firearm what they're talking about. Okay. We're just going to be done with this. So understand, I bring this up because we use firearms in our shooting sports and in our hunting. The more difficult and more expensive that it becomes to have a firearm, whether it's, like I said, like my grandfather's 30-06. Or if I didn't have my grandfather's 30-06, what I would go buy, a 270 or 300 Win Mag, whatever it is. It might, price me with punitive taxes, price me out of the market. And then now I have, can you imagine how much, if Glock loses this, you know how much a Glock is going to cost? Or is a Glock even going to be around anymore? Yeah. So this is just, it's absolutely absurd. Yeah. It's just, yeah. I love when they say a turn up in crimes. And that's a good point, Chris. It is a turn up in crimes. But we're being told nationwide crimes down. That's why I just redefine the word crime. See, we carry in other states, and I do have nice. Okay, so you have USAH. Yeah, got it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's basically, if I think that, Eddie, what you're talking about is the insurance. Like if you do have to use a firearm, there's legal help. I think that's what that is. So I think it was originally called Legal Shield. I think the NRA had one, and then they got their pantsuit off or something. I don't know, who knows? But yeah, every little bit helps. Every single bit helps. Every bit of training, everything you can protect yourself, everything helps. Let's get to this. Let's wrap it up, shall we, kids? With one of the goofiest stories I've seen in a hot minute. And it doesn't start with a Florida man. Most of the time it starts with a Florida man. But today it starts with Alabama man. Go Bama. Blitz tide blitz. Holy cow. Alabama man tells son to poach a goose. Okay? That's where we start this. And this is not what's funny about this whole thing. So an Alabama man says, son, shoot that goose. Are they out goose hunting? No. Are they hunting a different, maybe duck hunting, and they see a goose and they're like, that's a big duck? Nope. We're just driving along in his truck, handed a rifle to his son and said, out the window, go ahead and shoot that goose. Now, the level of stupidity that we have already heard just in a minute and a half of talking about, just setting up the story, the level of stupidity, one to fire a rifle from inside the cab of a truck. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, I can't. Yeah, the amount of hearing loss, the hearing damage, just that alone for a Canadian goose, one of the probably least popular table fare you could possibly have. And I don't know a lot of people that have their prize trophy Canadian goose mounted, but the Canadian goose was to be shot by his kid out of the window from a truck from a road. Okay, we got about a lot of legals there. So what we had after the gunshot went off, and this is Jacob Wayne Battle. Okay, Jacob Wayne Battle told his kid to make it happen. He's 42 years old, so probably kids probably, I'm guessing, like 12-ish, maybe 13-ish. But he's the one facing charges. He's the one facing charges. He wasn't the one that shot the goose. They still facing charges. Now, a lot of you might go where my head goes. Like, all right, so I'm kind of in for parental responsibility. If you tell your kid to do something, it's kind of on you. It's kind of your deal. You did it. Okay? Because the kids are going to say no. Look, statute of limitations is over on this. And yes, I have talked to Operation Game Thief about this because it's a funny story. When I believe I was 12 or 13, my grandfather had me stand up in the back of the pickup, not inside the cab, in the back, in the bed, stand up, lean against the cab while he slowly drives along a dirt road, and I'm holding a loaded shotgun. And he said, let me see if I can scare up any rabbits. I'm not kidding. And then he started pointing at a rabbit while he's doing like 15 miles an hour. And I'm like, it's like a rodeo back there. Buck and shoots. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah, it wasn't. I had a shotgun. He was so mad at me that I didn't take a shot at that thing. I'm like, I had to hold on, Grandpa. Oh, how far we've come. Anyway, like I said, statute of limitations over. That was 30-something years ago, and he's no longer with us. So I think we're good. Anyway, back to Jacob Wayne Battle. Jacob Wayne Battle told his kid, shoot that there goose. Assuming that's how it sounded. Shoot that there goose out the window here, son, boy. And so he did. A couple of dudes heard the gunshots. They're like, the heck? Who's shooting what? Okay, let's go check it out. Two men approach Jacob Wayne Battle, none too happy that they're road hunting for something completely illegal and doing things that are illegal. So they come up to they approach Jacob Wayne Battle. Jacob Wayne Battle didn't go to the concealed carry courses that we discussed earlier because apparently he doesn't know the rights and wrongs. He actually shoots one of the guys. So let's go over Jacob Wayne Battle's day. Jacob Wayne Battle probably having a nice day, just rolling along the pickup truck with his son. Alabama roads, just life is good. He's got some good music playing, and life's just good. Then you get this idea, son, let's do something crazy. Son, see that goose right there? Here's granddad's rifle. Why don't you go ahead and take a shot at that? It's loaded, son. Be careful. It's loaded. Be careful now. Safety fourth. Go ahead and lean it out the truck there and go ahead and take that shot. Ah, son, you got it. Isn't that wonderful? Great. All right, let's get out and go get that. Wait, who are these people? Who are these guys coming at us, asking questions? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to now shoot one. The one man was shot in the leg. The other man, basically, from what I understand, took on Jacob Wayne Battle and battled him to the ground. Jacob Wayne Battle was arrested and now faces felony assault charges. Victim was Colby Lee Penninger. Why are you going with three names on this? Like they're assassins. He was taken to the hospital, University of Bama, for treatment for non-life-threatening injuries. But here's the deal, though. That's what they're going after him for. So going after him for that. What about the poaching? Again, we got to get into the yeah. So anyway, they what a absolute absurd story, but that's what poachers do. Poachers are stupid. Poachers are morons. And this guy's a moron. And he literally, because instead of, oh my gosh, I didn't know you could do it, play dumb, dude. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. I'm so sorry about that. Hey guys, let's go ahead and grab the goose and here, you guys keep the meat or whatever it is. I mean, dude, talk your way through it. And by the way, the other two, part of the culpability pie. And if you've known me in the last 15 years on radio, this is I always talk about the culpability pie. There's a whole pie. How big of a slice do you own of that pie? The two that approached the man, they own a big slice of this. Did they deserve to get shot? By no means at all. No, they did not. But they should have known better that somebody that is dumb enough or crazy enough to shoot a goose with a rifle out of their truck from a road is not really someone you want to come up to and start flexing on. Hunch, survival instincts. I don't know, but man, that just keeps going and going and going. Yeah. It did sound like Florida, didn't it, Chris? Yeah, it does. It definitely sounded like Florida. For sure. Wow. If you're out there, I'm kind of looking out the studio window here. I don't know. Maybe it looks eclipsey. Who knows? I don't have the eye protection to do that. So I'm just going to just assume that it's happening and great. Yay. Go astronomy, whatever. Astronomy. We're going to go with it. I don't have my interns. They're here this weekend and they're gone. Hey, at least get outside today and maybe pretend you're watching it. Tell your boss, hey, I just want to go outside and I want to watch it. And I want to see this eclipse. It's really important to me. And then you get like 10, 15 minutes where you're out in the sun, getting some vitamin D. Come on, get out there with me. Let's have some fun. Make it a great week. We're going to be doing this again tomorrow at 11 a.m. right here on The Go Show. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for playing.